Why is it called Rage? I mean, Doom or Wolfenstein are rather self-explaining. Rage against what?
Yes, well, actually, Doom is. I always thought Doom was, you know, between Doom, Quake, and Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein made the most sense. But yes, it is because it's like
German
Doom.
Nazi zombies.
Yes.
From outer space.
You know, with Rage, you know, it's a great name. It's a solid thing. It was available, which is, I think, coming up with a name for a game is more difficult than coming up with the game sometimes. You know, it has power and structure, and then as a player, you know, you start out in the Ark, you meet these settlers, you eventually discover they're being oppressed by this kind of omnipresent force called the Authority. You know, you have the mutants. There's a lot of tension in the game that kind of drives this type of rage. And then the A is an anarchy symbol, which is, you know, symbolic against what the Authority is doing with their order, and then you're trying to break from that. Do you like the logo? Do you like the Rage logo? Yes.
Talking about the engine a bit, maybe 3 questions in a row. That's possible. Now that Steam is coming for the Macintosh, and maybe rumors are saying that it's coming for Linux as well. What do you think about supporting Mac or Linux, even with this ITEC 5 open architecture engine?
Well, our official platforms, of course, the PS3, the 360, and the PC. We haven't solidified our Mac plans yet, but one of the cool things about ITEC 5 is we can actually click a button and make a Mac build. And so the engine is flexible enough to make a Mac version, but we still have to solidify exactly what our plans are for that. We just have to look at the landscape and how it will fit in that. But actually, at id Software, we're all pretty big Mac fans. And my principal machine, my only development machine at work, is a Mac. So we're very, very aware of the Mac platform.
John Carmack even said maybe there will be a version for the iPad. What is your view on that?
Well, I think what he meant, and I can't speak for John, but I think what he meant is that there's technology that, you know, he's created for Rage that can be leveraged for those other platforms that can make really compelling games and things like that. And, you know, there may or may not be like a Rage game like that, but the technology, you know, is very flexible, very robust, that pieces can be used in other platforms.
So the ITEC 5 engine might scale even to the iPad?
Well, you'll have to ask John that. I mean, I don't want to say yes or no on that question, but I know that that he's, you know, has some ideas with that.
Final question. Where will the PC, the engine on the PC shine the most? Where the most, the feature that will shine on PC in comparison to the console?
Yes, well, I think in last year's QuakeCon speech, John had mentioned that on the PC, there's some kind of graphical things you can turn up, you know, because everyone knows you can get the super high-end graphics card. But the assets are all the same. The models and textures and animations, regardless of platform, are all identical. So really the only options left are, you know, some high-end tweaky graphic things.
Okay, sorry gentlemen, just a couple more questions.
Start over here again.
Another question on the outdoor environments. Are those levels linear experiences, or can you explore, go sideways?
Yes, the big wasteland that kind of encompasses the game. We have like 2 huge kind of wastelands. Yes, you can basically, if you choose to drive off one direction, you're more than welcome to do that. You may be hurt by some bandits, but you can do that. When we start the game out, we do kind of restrict you to one corner of the wasteland that allows you to learn, how to drive, teaches you how to, interact with the world. But through the logical progression of the story, the wasteland will open, and then you have free access to it. So, if you're the type of player that likes to just go through the missions and complete the game, as fast as you can do that. If you're the type of player that wants to do some of the side missions, maybe go to the bar and pick up a job from Sally, the bartender, where she'll pay you for every bandit that you kill. You can go out in the wasteland, you can keep driving around, killing bandits, earn money that way. If you want to race more, you can do that. So with Rage, I think that we have that flexibility to give the players more than just linear game. We call the world open but directed because no one likes to get lost.
Okay. There's one question I love to ask developers. But
Okay.
first I have to tickle you a bit. What I've seen today.
Is that a German something?
Yeah.
You
Something
actually
to
literally
provoke
tickle
you.
me? Oh, okay. I thought maybe you had to actually tickle me.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Not intending to touch
And
it.
maybe that's do that in Germany.
No, the point is, what I've seen today reminds me of Fallout, it reminds me of Bioshock,
Mhm.
and it reminds me of Borderlands.
Mhm.
Going, let's say, 5 years into the future,
Mhm.
what would you like to be Rage remembered of?
Oh, well, I think my goal for people when they buy Rage, when they're done, they're like, you know what? A, I got my money's worth, and B, that was fun. And just because that is key. There's so many games that take themselves way too seriously, that try for this objective that just is so unattainable. For Rage, I want people to be like, yeah, that's awesome. And then when their buddy says, hey, you like Rage? Like, yeah, that was great. You should play it. That's what I want.
That's a fine answer.
And I had no tickling. No man touch.
Final statement. A wonderful final statement.
Thank you, Tim.
Yes, thank you all for coming, and I'm glad that you enjoyed the presentation. And you Germans have a good sense of humor.
Will there be another photo?